eating healthy does not need to be expensive. Eat locally. They are cheaper. They actually taste better. I'm a big fan of batch cooking. Eat more meat, less. Trust me, it's not that hard. Hi everyone, I'm Sosan. I am your health investment consultant. And my goal is to teach you different and effective strategies so that you can achieve your optimal health. Here today, we are going to talk about how to eat healthy when you're on budget. You know, nowadays, one of the things that concerns most people is everything is getting so expensive. Everything. The food, the clothes, everything. I could not even think of one thing that did not get more expensive. It's crazy out there, and it has caused a lot of people to be very stressed. But it's sad that as people are getting very stressed, the first thing that they want to cut down is their food. How many people say, oh, you know what, I'm on a budget, therefore I will cut down on my phone. I'm not going to use my phone. How many people will do that? Nobody, right? How about, oh, you know, things are getting more expensive, I'll cut down my cable or my Netflix or my other entertainment. Most people actually not willing to give them up, but they're willing to give up on the quality of the food because they think eating healthy is expensive. And that's why today I want to talk to you that eating healthy does not need to be expensive. And the number one thing is I always help people eat locally. When I say eat locally means eat local seasonal fruits and vegetables. Like in Canada right now, we have squash, right? We are in the fall season. So zucchini, we have squash. Everything is on probably one of the lowest price ever. Take advantage. Eat as seasonal as possible. And maybe if you're at the season where green beans is in season, then eat more green beans. So number one is eat what is locally available, because what? They are cheaper. And second, they actually taste better. Number two is buy in bulk. Let me give you an example of things that I buy in bulk. Obviously meat, then there is my brown rice, my oatmeal, right? If pasta is on sale, I buy a lot of it. And even vegetable, when they're on sale, I buy a lot because bulk buying help me save on costs. Obviously, provide that you have the space for it. But when I buy in bulk, I can go home and pre-package them. Then you said, how do you pre-package vegetable? Well, I can put them in the freezer. And you said, but they don't taste the same. But frozen vegetable do have its own perk. For example, if I'm making a puree soup, does it matter if my frozen vegetable is kind of soft? Because I'm pureeing them anyway. If I'm planning to make a soup, not puree soup, just a regular vegetable soup, does it matter if my vegetable is a little bit soft? No, it does not matter. And if I were to make a sauce, a tomato sauce, and I put different vegetable, we know that once we make the tomato sauce with different vegetable, by the time we eat that tomato sauce, the vegetable is soft anyways. And if that's the case, it really doesn't matter if these vegetables, I prep them ahead of time and freeze them. So that saves me a lot of money. Number two, a lot of people don't realize it's batch cooking. I'm a big fan of batch cooking. When I was in my university, then I did my internship, I was living alone. And batch cooking is so important because batch cooking, first of all, allows me to do two things. You know how people like to go and order takeout or buying convenience food? Why? But they're fast and they're convenient. So batch cooking, I want to imitate that so that when I go home after a long day internship at the hospital, I want to have food ready. So I did batch cooking over the weekend. And what are things that I like to batch cook that I use all the time is broth. Because Asian people love soup, right? And when you're in the wintertime, nothing beats a hot bowl of soup. And sometimes when you want a hot bowl of soup and you don't have soup, you want to go and order a takeout noodle soup. So instead, I actually batch cooking my soup. I make a lot of chicken stock and I put them in the freezer in singular package. So when I want to ready to eat them, I literally take them out and thaw them and boil in the soup, and I'm ready to eat with any, maybe I can do noodles, I can do vegetable. And that was a very quick one. That's one thing. Second thing I do batch cooking is sauce. I'm a big fan of sauce. And there are two sauce that I always batch cook because I eat so much of it and it's so easy. So one, obviously the tomato sauce, right? Pasta tomato sauce. Second that I do is curry sauce because I love my curry, and curry sauce lasts and it tastes amazing. It doesn't change the taste, and I do these sauce all the time. So when I come home, get my veggie, get my meat, put the sauce in, and I'm ready to eat. It's simple as that. Number 3 is actually eat more meat less. Meat less, I mean cut down on your meat, because honest meats are actually more expensive when compared to a lot of the plant-based protein. So we talk about legume like your beans, your chickpea, your lentils, they're actually a lot cheaper in comparison. So I would say try in a week, not every day eat your meat. Maybe cut down on your poultry, cut down on your meat, and try to go meatless. Sometimes I do a meatless Monday, so every Monday there's no meat, or every Friday there's no meat. Start with one day and eventually go for 2 days. You'd be quite surprised how many different dishes that you can do with beans and lentil. I'm a big fan of soup, and I find that beans and lentil do such a great soup. And second thing is I love to do dips, and beans and lentil do great dips. And last is, as you know, I like salad, so beans and lentil do a great topping for my salad. So they're such a great way because they're high in protein, they're high in fiber, and they are cheap, and they are healthy. Number 4 is drink water. So Sam, what are we talking about? Do you know that people often say food are expensive, but they forgot to think about beverages. Beverages are expensive. And do you know what kind of beverages that are cheap? Water. Water is boring, but it's cheap. So when you buy carbonated water, you buy your juice, you buy your pop, you buy your soy milk, you buy your different drinks, those cost a lot of money, and they don't really provide no nutritional value. So I would say drink your water and cut down on the rest of your beverage. You save a lot more. And when we talk about beverages, let's talk about my next one, number 5. Make your own plant-based milk. I myself use plant-based milk, so mainly I use almond milk. Sometimes I do cashew milk, and we know these plant-based milk, they can get pricey, right? We can have as low cost as maybe $4.99 to as high cost as $7.99, and that can add up very quickly if you have a family of 4 or even more. When I make my own plant-based milk, first of all, it tastes so much better, and second of all, it costs me 1/3 to 1/4 of what I can buy at the organic level. I'm talking about expensive organic $7.99. I can pay like less than $2 for my own version of it, and it's so much easier. And you said, I don't have time. Trust me, it's not that hard. As long as you have a blender, you just have to soak these nuts ahead of time. So if I want to do almond milk, I soak the almond milk ahead of time. I can soak overnight, or cashew. Cashew soaks a lot faster, but if I just want to make it quick and easy, the night before I soak either almond or cashew. The next day I discard the water. So I said for every cup, I add 4 cups of water. So 1 cup of almond, 4 cups of water. That's very basic. If I want to make it a little bit tasty, a little bit sea salt, a little bit of vanilla extract was all you need to make it tasty. If you want it sweet, I usually do 1 to do majute date. It's all I need to make it sweet, but not too sweet. Last but not least, is I want to say, when you buy meat, you don't need to buy an expensive cut. You know, nowadays a lot of people has those pressure cooker, right? Those work so well when you buy a meat that are cheaper cuts. So sometimes I buy a cheaper cut and it's okay, right? No one say cheaper cut doesn't taste good, as long you know how to make them. In Canada, a winter or cold weather lasts so long, I love to put them in my Instant Pot, and I do a stew instead. So I can do a beef stew, I can do all version of it, and I can buy a cheaper cut which costs a lot less, and the food still tasted amazing, because how many kids who doesn't like sauce to go over the rice and the pasta? So it's such an easy way, and I love making curries anyway. So when I make them as a curry, or when I make them as a kind of a brown sauce more, the kids love them, and I don't buy the expensive cut, I buy the cheaper cut. So my idea to you is that during the tough time when you want to cut down on your food because you want to save cost, there's still so many ways you can still eat healthy. And I really want to dispel this myth that eating healthy is expensive. Eating healthy is not expensive. Just for 1 week, try what I just taught you and see how much you save versus you going out and not plan eating out and convenience food. You will realize convenient food and eating out is not going to be cheaper. In fact, it will cost you more, not just in the pocket, but also cost your health. And we always say your greatest wealth is your health. And until then, my friend, I will see you next time. 食得有型，活得健康。I will see you next time. Bye everyone.